Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at Black.
Yeah, it's from the soul don meitoa kasavara mudigi. Mkisikia msea na kwara ni vidin. Niko kwa teli kao kwara inabidi ni wachanganishe na izima thoughts zangu za within. Juka pito city washanisikia so inafaa mashinani kundani pia. Kazi fike mitazi tahadithia mweke shot tukikane kumalizia. Vile miaka 30 na karibia inafanya na reflect on my early years. Zile vitu nimeona as a young boy. Don't ever wanna see my mom in tears. Never. No money, no communication. They didn't see it coming. Premature ejaculation. Miseducation. Ineza kweka kwa my situation. We beat them like a case, no matter the speculations. Yeah, vile na slap kama wakambo. I am the one, I keep it a handle. Na hama fala hawezi relate. Yo, zangu ni raw, but si mambo. I do him that in me come filthy. Na jeshi maspate me come with me. Kubeba bendera ya hip hop. Many juicy to party me turn 50. I dare you to step up and come beat me. I dare you to go on a run with me. Can I run a run GG? I'm picking nafanya mna come midget. Inspector Mwala gives a Kenyan shilling ikweni dollar. So mean when I go in, more green kwa legend color. Time is money, the reason I protect it. Do the most, I don't waste it. Fake niggas like prosthetic. Nasema ina happen is prophetic. How could they forget me? Na vile na metaka confetti. How many times I've killed rappers and buried battles, I've won plenty. Brother telling me we gon' get there. Na get me congested. Punch rappers kama konje. Vile kicks na snares are connecting. I'm not trusting. Adini fike kwa pinnacle. Lazima ni chase. Manze silalishi niliacha kungojema miracle. Walengoja ni kwa mebila form na wanataka kunionanga bila doti nya waba wako pika tapila. So lazima nibadilishe no familiar flow. Washingtons of rappers like Denzel. Nigga, it's my training day. Yeah, it's my training day. It's my training day.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you? I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go and walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down.
Good afternoon, family. Grand rising. Hope you guys are doing amazing. This wonderful Tuesday. Karibuni sana. It is exactly 33 minutes past the top of the hour. Welcome to the Black of Fire Network radio station. This is the media of the 21st century. To the first-time listeners on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute. To the returning listeners on the radio, my name is Joby. And of course, this is the Pan-African Bliss Show. Today we have an amazing conversation. We shall be covering a documentary that was released yesterday by BBC Africa. And this is a documentary of the events that took place, or the major demonstration that happened in 2024 right here in Kenya, where we lost so many innocent lives. And in this particular documentary, we've been showed actually the people who are behind some of the shootings. But of course, they're not really revealing everything. We're talking about a British broadcasting media that actually is covering the, images according to their own terms, not according to what really saw and everything that happened on the ground. Because we have Kenyan citizens who are reacting towards this particular documentary. They're saying that all the truth has not been mentioned. We have so many citizens from different counties who died, not just actually the 3 people from the parliament. We had innocent people who were shot despite saying we're demonstrating peacefully. And this is just crazy because everyone is talking about where including Dr. Mombi, and also gave it a thought earlier when I was watching this documentary as well, where probably the master is finally tired of this puppet because there's a whole lot of things revolving him, and Kenyans are not getting tired of saying you must go. Everyone is saying you must go still. So I'll be sharing this particular documentary and of course the reaction of majority of the people. And I believe actually this is I'd say wrong timing, perfect timing again, because I think it's going to take citizens again back to the streets. Yesterday, we had 7 also citizens who were shot dead. This is them actually demonstrating about their land that actually the president is being claimed to allegedly being taken from these particular people. Of course, it's commonly known of this, snatching lands from so many people. If you talk about the 2007 incidents is one of them. We talk about a certain school that part of it was snatched and a hotel built is a whole another case. And this is now happening. So you can see literally the BBC releasing this documentary, and then yesterday, innocent citizens still being shot. The rage that actually citizens actually have right now, Kenyans that are actually filming. So I'll be sharing that, but along that we shall be talking about also what is happening in Namibia, where we have, of course, poor leaders who are put in the wrong spaces and end up misusing their power, where we have a Namibian agricultural minister who has been charged with rape. So this is just so crazy as it sounds, that we have these leaders in this type of position, or men in this position, and that they really misuse their power. But shout out to Byron Scott. Karibu sana. Hope you're doing amazing today. Welcome to today's conversation. Hope you're ready for today's conversation. But before we get started, I started with an amazing jump. Um that was Caterpillar with the name of the jam is, let me see the name of the jam. How did I forget the name of the jam? So that is Caterpillar, and the name of the jam is called, let me give you guys the name of the jam so you can check him out. Training Day. Just released a few hours ago. Check him out. Shout out to the homie, and of course, shout out to all the 254 artists who are doing amazing. But we're gonna get straight to it. I wanna just start with this particular documentary. And what's funny, actually, as I even shared the documentary, we have the Kenyan authorities who have cancelled the screening. The screening of it was supposed to happen, I believe, this coming probably this weekend. I'm not sure of the details, but they have cancelled this screening of this particular documentary that was supposed to be, showcasing or showcased to majority of the people. So it's crazy. You can see that actually Kenya is under pressure right now. That's basically what I'd say. Ruto is under pressure right now because people are literally on the watch. People are watching every move you're making. But let me share this as we get to continue. I'll be breaking it down because personally I didn't like, of course, the people chosen to explain everything that took place. We're talking about paid activists, okay? We're talking about Boniface Mwangi. Boniface Mwangi right now, I think people should have already known, is he works for these people. He's just someone who's on the front page to act like, he's in demand of change, just like as Julius Malema. But I don't believe he's really a man of the change, because we've seen real activists, just like in that particular June 25th last year, they were killed. Innocent people. If he was really and if he's really a threat to this nation, he shouldn't be existing, because this man has been chased, has been literally up and down with the government. So it doesn't just make sense. We also have the lady who's also Anifa. She was one among the top leading, actually, people leading the demonstration that was on June last year. One among the people who social media, actually, people were following, and of course the people who are leading us on how the demonstration should be led accordingly. And then we have one of the journalists who actually, of course, claims he was on the ground helping people and everything that was happening. But if you look at these 3 people, and also another, I don't know if I should call him a moderator or whatever she is, but all these people have been paid. Again, we're talking about British broadcasting media. This is not Kenyan media covering this. This is not African media. So they're not giving us true facts. It's not just 3 people that died on the parliament. We had hundreds of people. Still to date, we have people being kidnapped. Kidnappings are still happening because of this demonstration, or if you try to talk anything against the same government. So this is not true. But I love the fact that actually Kenyans are reacting towards this, which we will share towards the end of the show. But karibu sana, Keith. Hope you're doing amazing today.
Asante sana, Joby. How are you?
I'm good. Karibu sana. We are just literally, you're right on time. I want to talk about the BBC documentary of the June 25th the parliamentary Occupy Parliament that happened, that was last year in Kenya. Of course, we
All
saw
right.
Kenya standing together, tribeless as one, demanding, of course, equality and demanding the tax that was supposed to be passed, the finance bill that was supposed to be passed, to be withdrawn, because it's supposed to make our lives literally tougher, more than it already is. And we've seen, actually, despite this, Ruto has been able to pass some of the laws, one by one. He's been passing some of these laws. It's just that people, I don't know if people are noticing it, but for the few who have been noticing it, he's been passing some of these taxes slowly, just despite us
Yeah,
rejecting them.
yeah, being slick about it.
Yeah, so this is a documentary that has been released by the BBC, and of course, so far it's hitting almost 3 million views. Of course, it's going viral in Kenya. I'd say probably in Africa or in the world. I don't know, but Kenyans are literally the majority reacting towards this because they're so angry. They're calling out BBC for
Mhm.
not giving out true facts, and I love the fact that people understand now how the media works. Getting to see that they're not really giving you the true details of what you want to hear, despite giving us, of course, two, three police officers of those who are calling the shots of kill, and the agencies they work for, or where they stand
It mix
in this.
truth with lies, Joe. That's how they do propaganda. You'll get some truth, but the majority is lies. Truth with lies.
Exactly, because they're just talking about three citizens who are killed in the parliament itself.
Three.
Hundreds of people, again, like I'm saying, mass kidnappings are still happening in Kenya
Mad
today.
dis exactly. Mad disappearing.
Mm-hmm,
Hundreds have been killed.
exactly. So I
And so they
love
go-
it.
and so they're gonna try to sugarcoat this because for these crimes,
Mm-hmm,
Ruto's supposed to be at the Hague right now. But since
mm-hmm,
he's their puppet, he hasn't been there. And so they don't work in it. White people don't believe in any justice. It's all fake. Going at the evil Toure call him a criminal. He ain't unalive nobody. And you hear
mm-hmm,
all the Americans ever try to call this man a criminal for helping Africans. You got the true criminal Ruto, which is all documented. It's all documented. The disappearing, the killing, the shooting innocent protesters with live bullets, which is also illegal, a crime, worldwide crime. Use of live bullets is a crime against humanity. Already documented in the UN. So why
mm-hmm,
hasn't Ruto been taken to the Hague? Because he's
exactly.
their puppet.
Exactly. But we have people saying that probably they're tired of him. This is why they are releasing this documentary, especially towards the anniversary of this, whole incident. And
I
then
don't
it
think
has,
so, Joby. They always got they it, Kenya was so big, especially like in Africa, Joby. They can't deny that it happened. So this is
hmm,
them trying to just this is them trying to shape the narrative,
hmm,
trying to say it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as you think it is. That's what they're
hmm.
trying to do. So that's
But
not
it
them
is
trying to get rid of them. That's them trying to uh because they can't ignore what happened, Joby. There's been no country in Africa that did what Kenya did last year. It just and that was organic, not a fake protest, but organic.
true. That is
So
true.
they
But
so go
I
ahead,
think
Joby.
Kenyans might go to the street as I get to start with this video, because yesterday we had 7 innocent citizens also killed by police officers, and this is
See
because of them demonstrating
again.
about Ruto stealing a certain land in Narok. This is where
Well,
actually it
well,
comes from. So
that's what I'm talking about. How are you killing people protest? How are people being unalive, Joby? This is illegal. How are
mhm,
people being unalive and no one's having no accountability? You don't live this is no democracy. Stop saying Kenya's democracy. It is not a democracy. It's a criminal organization set up by the British. Like all African countries. The only democracy you got right now is Burkina Faso. All African uh, governments are criminal organizations. There's no democracy in Africa. You can't kill people and no one has to be accountable for them uh, 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 peacefully protesting. You don't use live bullets on
true.
protesters. That's right in your constitution in Kenya. So why has nobody been account? Why has nobody had accountability then? If you live in a democracy,
Exactly. So let me share this, understanding that the
mm,
activists or the people who are representing or talking on behalf of Kenyans are also paid. These activists, all of them actually were paid. they were all bought out. Like I'm saying, Boniface Mwangi, I've been sharing most of his videos, of course, for the longest time, and I've been defending him, but only coming to see these are Julius Malema, just, you know, on the front picture to show us or to lead us. We really we believe in change. We're leading you towards change. But if you really are a person who's
controlled
affected by
opposition.
this system again, like I've understood how this system works, just like these innocent citizens, hundreds of them, they were not a threat. They were a threat, and that's why they were killed. That's what I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
were still a threat also as you. We shouldn't see you actually. What are you doing in BBC number one? You know, that's a big question to ask you. What are you doing in BBC?
Right.
You should be trying to push, if you really have real work in media in Africa or Kenya, they should be pushing these documentaries. It is a shame, like I'm saying, or most of the Kenyans are saying, to see that it's an international broadcasting media trying to bring us the truth. What truth? And it's all filtered. It is all filtered. It's crazy.
Sometimes, to catch a killer in a crowd, all it takes is one little click. In June last year, blood was spilt on the grounds of Kenya's parliament. The month before, the government, led by its president, William Ruto, proposed its annual budget, the 2024 finance bill.
If we are a serious state, we must be able to enhance our taxes.
By raising taxes, it promised to address the country's growing debt problem.
The growing debt. Pause for a second. The growing debt has nothing to do with the people. See, these crooks want to put the debt on the people's backs. They have got nothing from these loans. It's the theft of the country from Jomo to this moron Ruto. That's what you see, and they want to finance the debt that they stolen on the people's back, who got nothing for it. Why should I pay the debt? I'm living in Quebec. What? While you riding around in your big fancy car and got your lavish lifestyle, but I'm living all messed up. Kenya's an impoverished country, which it shouldn't be, but it's impoverished country, right? Why should I be paying your debt back? Because the money you borrowed never benefited me, never got down to the streets. Because if it did, the Kenyans wouldn't be trying to get out of Kenya to take jobs in the Arabian countries or in England or America. So we know the money ain't got down to the street at all.
Yep.
Go ahead, Joby.
Young Kenyans, nicknamed Gen Zs, didn't see it that way.
Our members of parliament, the president, they are not listening to us at all.
People just had enough of everything. That is where it all began.
On June 25th, everything changed. More than 100,000 Kenyans hit the streets of Nairobi. Their aim? Occupy the parliament.
They were going there as owners of the house. It's a people's assembly, belongs to the people.
At first, security forces held them back with tear gas and truncheons. But as the day went on, tactics changed.
Every single time we went to the street, we even had our hands up saying, we are peaceful, we are peaceful. But they still gun people down.
At least 3 young men were killed at Kenya's parliament. David Chege, Erickson Mutisia, and Eric Shieni. That evening, President Ruto gave his account of what had happened.
Today, an otherwise legitimate expression of the fundamental rights and freedoms of assembly was infiltrated and hijacked by a group of organized criminals.
He regretted the deaths. He thanked the security forces and placed the blame squarely with those he called organized criminals. Since then, no official investigation has been published, and no one held to account for the killings on June 25th.
It's Africa. No one's ever held responsible.
BBC Africa Eye has been digging. We've mapped more than 5,000 photos and videos to reconstruct those killings.
You could see he's clearly aiming, meaning he was aiming to kill as a message to them.
Now, we can show you exactly what happened. We can pick out the killers in the crowd. We can reveal who they were working for. And we can offer an answer to one simple question. Was there any reason to spill blood on the grounds of Kenya's parliament?
When I came into office, I told everybody, tighten up your belts. I am not going to preside over a bankrupt country. I am not going to preside over a country
country's
that is
already
in debt
bankrupt.
distress.
The country's already bankrupt, moron.
In 2024, the government produces another finance bill.
That's why you keep going to get more loans.
Commodities, so people couldn't afford them anymore.
Over the past decade, our tax revenue as a share of GDP has remained stagnant. This stagnation is a cause for concern.
It's already really hard for everyone as it is, and the taxes are going to make life much harder for all of us.
The whole principle is that you must live within your means.
We have billions of Kenyan shillings lost.
Pause that, Joey. Pause that for a second. This dude is so criminal. He said you must live within your means. That's true. That living in your means, but you can't go borrow money. When you go borrow money means you're living outside of your means because you have to go borrow money. What you're saying is contradictory and a lie. Why you keep going to IMF World Bank, then you just went to China begging again. So you're not living in your means. Living in your means, that means whatever money I bring in, I can only use that money. Just like me making money or Joby, her job. I can only spend what I make. I can't go keep borrowing money because then I'm living outside of my means.
Yep.
Go ahead, Joe.
And no one is held to account. The differences between how the common citizen is living and how the political class is living.
This is every African country. Every African country except for Ibram. But Ibram's the bad guy. Ibram's now the bad guy, and everybody's got to take him down. Every African country. But this is the same in every African country. Kenya's not an anomaly. Kenyans just were the first one to erupt and said we had enough. But because it takes Africans a long time, Africans deal with abuse forever. That's where inside Africa, outside of Africa. That's just the way they are. We're considered docile, loving, to care. We can just live in crap. But this is every African country. You know this is a plan. It ain't no Kenya's not no anomaly like they just a bad luck country in Africa. It's in every country. Go ahead, Joby.
That's true. By design.
By design.
And our members of parliament, the president, they are not listening to us at all.
This committee did indeed listen to the people of Kenya. From the VAT that was proposed on bread, to the border sector, to the eco levies on diapers, on sanitary towels.
There was anger that was expressed yesterday on the streets.
And we start this hour in Kenya, where the security forces have clashed with hundreds of protesters opposed to tax hikes put forward by the government.
It was a Gen Z protest to begin with, young people.
The protests, they're not only in Nairobi, they're across the country. For the first time, it was the Kenyan people, the working class, and the middle class, and the lower class against the ruling class.
Even when we were on the streets, they don't understand why we are there.
We did the first protest on the June 18th arrest, June 20th arrest, and then we said on the 25th, we're coming back to occupy parliament.
The atmosphere was extremely tense, but no one really anticipated what would have happened on the 25th.
Honorable members, we have quorum to transact business.
June 25th, 2024.
Yes, order.
9:30 a.m. at Kenya's parliament.
We are dealing with a very important issue of the finance bill.
Inside, MPs are filing in for the last reading of the government's finance bill. Outside...
Pause it. How are the Kenyan politicians making all this money in a poor country? GDP is poor. How are they making out? How is this even ethically right? Just like Nigeria. How is this ethically right that these politicians who don't make anything, don't create any jobs, are making this kind of money in a poor country? The politicians in Kenya make more money than the American government, and then the Americans working in government. Make that make sense. America's a $20-30 trillion economy. Kenya's 100 billion, and it's poor. How are these people making more? And then the Nigerians is where these politicians in Africa making more than the white politicians in America. With a bigger, with 500 times the GDP. It means these things are criminal. Go ahead, Joe.
Giving away our resources is one of it, you know. Get the real thing, get the fake papers, you know.
It was a party. It was a beautiful party. Kids came out with Bluetooth speakers and their water. It was a carnival, the entire city. There was no destruction. There was no violence. There was only one goal. When we started reading the bill, we go to parliament.
See, they don't want this. See, this is democracy, which they don't want. Somebody starts shooting them in the street. People assembling and know what's going on. They don't want this. Why they make education. They always want to keep you dumbed down. They don't. Now, this is democracy at work. They don't believe in this. It just lip service they give. Go ahead, Joey.
Every side, I really felt that this was it. This is something this country has never seen before.
No African country has seen.
I so hope.
My name is Ademba Alans. I'm a journalist by profession, currently in school. On June 25th, for me it was just a normal day. I knew people would just be there, shout, Ruto must go. People are live streaming on their TikTok, on their Instagram. And now the media is here. These things are being live streamed on national TVs. That's when I realized that it was going to be serious.
Honorable members, do we put the question?
By the time voting begins,
Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
numbers have hit over 10,000 in central Nairobi.
But said, you know what, we're going to go all out. We felt this was possible. We would finally occupy parliament.
But the police have other ideas.
Now the numbers start getting bigger and people actually start getting arrested. The police are everywhere. They're trying to push people back. People start confronting the police officers, not fighting them, but asking them, why are you arresting
Now
us?
the Kenyans know you're the majority. There's no police force that could ever stop you once you get past your fear.
Exactly.
For 3 hours, more than 100,000 protesters pour in from the east, the north, and the west. They unite and push towards their target, Parliament.
We are not scared at all. This is Kenya. We are one.
Order, honorable members, order.
Despite the chaos on the streets, MPs are still in the chamber.
I vote yes.
Ongili Babu Owino.
I vote no.
I was 100%.
This man is not clean. Let me remind you the story of this man. This man has shot an innocent DJ for not just playing his music at the club. This guy lost his ability of, I think, walking, or I can't remember what, but he lost his ability of literally functioning. All they did is just pay off the family. He requires medical attendancy every month, but he was paid off just once. And this guy, he has not been held accountable for what
He should have went to jail. He killed somebody. Yeah, I remember he did that story like 3 or 4 years ago. He killed somebody didn't play a song. This is absolutely outrageous. Why isn't this man not in prison? This doesn't make any sense.
And now he's the man of the people. He's supposed to be talking on the
Supporting the demonstration. We were not happy in parliament. There was a lot of lobbying by the executive those members of parliament who are in support of the finance bill. Earlier on, they were so happy that they were winning.
Back at the protest, police are holding these 3 pinch points. Tear gas and rubber bullets hound the protesters. But they keep coming.
People even climbing on top of those water cannons. People evading arrest. Now numbers are increasing. People had one sole goal: to enter the parliament.
By 2 p.m., police are mounting a last defense at the northeastern corner of Parliament. But they're surrounded. Inside the chamber,
Honorable members,
something big is about to happen.
ayes 195, nays 106. The ayes have it.
The finance bills voted in. Opposition MPs storm out.
I said I will join the people.
Word instantly reaches the protesters.
After some of us getting
Pause
arrested,
this for a second, Joby. I want to make this clear. This is not even this is not an African system. This is a European system put into Africa. That's why it's psychopathic and it's predatory. The system's not African. It never was Africa before Europeans showed up. The system is predatory because that's the mindset of Europeans. It's predatory and it's parasitic. That's the system that they put all throughout the world. That's why nothing works for anybody except a few people at the top. It's predatory and it's parasitic. And it's really evil. It's psychopathic. And these are the systems in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, America, Jamaica. That's why nothing works. That's the system that these evil, wicked people created once they got control of the world, because they indoctrinated us with their parasitic, psychopathic, predatory system. Because we're living in the minds of Europeans. That's why nothing works in Africa now, because nothing ever worked in Europe, ever. Since they got nothing ever, there's never been a time of peace and shared prosperity ever in Europe. It never existed. And that's why history is so important. It never happened. Always stealing, robbing, killing, stealing, robbing, killing. Day after day. This is European history. They exported that nonsense to Africa. Africa was always egalitarian, fair. All the money was distributed fairly. With no poor people, wasn't no quiberas. No, this is a symptom of white supremacy. Understand this. This is the symptom, because what they set up is always unequal, unfair, predatory, parasitic, and psychopathic. Go ahead, Joby.
Now, they still pass it to be an actual bill. Now, this is when everybody is saying that whatever happens, we are going to enter the parliament and show the MPs that we believed in what we were fighting for.
At 20 minutes past 2, they break through.
It is happening, guys! It is happening!
They've reached Parliament.
See, this is dangerous. See, Kenya's the spark. This is dangerous for Europe. See, Kenya is the spark to Burkina Faso. Kenya's the spark, and this is the Europeans' worst nightmare. How can they get this genie back in the bottle? Because now you got Africans not being scared anymore. Once this genie at the bottle, how do you get it back in the bottle? How do you get control back over the Africans who have all the resources that fuel the world? You kept them in poverty for 500 years. How do you get this back? The Africans are saying no more. We refuse to live in poverty. And they start to know they live on the richest continent. Should nobody, and before white people show up, they were never poor. How do you get this genie back in the bottle? Good, Joe.
What do we manage to India Parliament? People are inside the Parliament.
A lot happens at once in the next hour, so we're going to break it down minute by minute. We've analysed over 5,000 photos and videos shot on the ground that day. We've determined when each was shot, using camera metadata, live stream timings, and public clocks visible in the shots. And we've plotted where they were shot on a 3D reconstruction of the site, giving us a second-by-second, 360-degree view of what happened next. We left the protest at 20 minutes past 2, with police in full retreat. Some demonstrators pursue them down Parliament Road. Others overrun this area and destroy an abandoned police truck. The rest tear down the fences and set foot on the grounds. The incursion is short. They don't make it inside. Security forces return up Parliament Road to clear them out. But with them come the photojournalists. On the front line, one photographer took these. He didn't know it then, but he'd just captured the last 3 seconds of this man's life. Seven men are hit.
The people now saying they've shot people.
Edemba tries to reach them.
Yeah, because I remember the more they shot people, actually the more people were angered, because that's the day we were in town also. And the moment we had the gunshot, as we started finding our way back home, the moment the parliament was occupied and we started hearing all these gunshots, it was
I remember.
so intense.
Now you're just there. You are also crying. You are terrified. Maybe I'm the next person who is going to get shot. But you have to help these people.
But for two
The crimes.
them, he's already too late.
Yeah, the crimes. And no one.
There was a guy.
The police was supposed to be completely disbanded. The guy who ever controlled the police was supposed to be jailed. These are crimes. But see, for Africa, these kind of crimes, you see this in Europe, people are going to prison because they're killing white people. But Africans are not supposed to ever get any justice. That's also the dirty secret. What this is right now is a crime. Using live bullets in protest is a crime. The UN is, where's the UN at? Supposedly to help the Africans. UN supposed to came in that next day and rounded up all the police who are in charge. Who gave you the order to use live ammunition? But we know it came from Ruto. But he's their puppet. See, these are crimes. The police chief, whoever run the police, they're all supposed to be at The Hague right now. Because this international, it's not just Africa, this international crimes. International law. World law. This is international law. So these are international crimes we're seeing committed right here. So why does the African get the justice of international crimes? Because Africa's the wealth. And these Negroes are supposed to be on the bottom. You get it? Let this happen in a white country. People going to prison. Go ahead, Joby.
Next to me was in white overalls. I don't know where he's shot, but he was shot. You could see blood.
We saw this young man in the street a few moments ago. His name is Erickson Mutisia. He was wearing white overalls from his work as a butcher. He was 25 years old.
I saw Erickson Mutisia a few minutes before he died. He died on the spot right next to me. What did he do wrong? Did he pose any threat? Why is he dead?
He's dead because he's
The
African.
second
That's why he's
casualty
dead.
is the man in the purple hoodie. His name is David Chege, a 39-year-old software engineer who ran a Sunday school for children.
He was kind, humble, soft-spoken.
Impossible.
I went to some of those funerals. I went to enough funerals to last me a lifetime. The kids who buried him were his Sunday school students. And everyone had dispersed. Found the mother standing alone at the grave. Mom, so sorry for your loss. What did you like to tell the country?
Yeah, I have no words. I don't have them.
And nobody
I have
held
to think that was the last
responsible.
funeral that I went to. I couldn't handle the more mothers breaking.
To find David and Ericsson's shooter, we need to find the moment he pulled the trigger. Police advance up Parliament Road.
See, understand this. Pause this, Joby. This is stupid. I want to understand how this is propaganda. Let me explain how propaganda works. See, we need to find the shooter. The shooter's not responsible. The shooter's following orders that were given to him by his command. The shooter was given live bullets, like all of them out there, by his command. And we're told to shoot innocent Kenyans by his command.
Yep.
But you're not mentioning that. Yeah, we're going to find the shooter. The shooter is a pawn. And you know this. The shooter was giving orders by his commanding officer, who was giving orders by the government. See, so this whole documentary is a scam. We're gonna see who the shooter was. The shooter didn't give himself live bullets. The shooter didn't give the order to go shoot out there and shoot innocent Kenyans. That was given to him by higher ups. See, that's what you got. That's how propaganda works. See, they want to frame the narrative to keep you not thinking, well, he don't got any power. He just some lowly, low budget cop, not even making any money. Told what to do. That's his job. He's told what to do. He don't got to do. He doesn't command anything. And they're not mentioning any of that. We're gonna find the shooter. Go ahead, Joby.
Sure.
It's not clear at first, but look closer. One officer kneels to a firing position, and then this protester goes down, as does a figure dressed in white, Ericsson. To see David, we need to change our angle. If these shots hit him too, that officer's 50 meters from the pair as he takes them. And it just so happens one journalist was filming in the right place at the right time.
They trying to dazzle you with CGI. Look at the way we do this. Look at the way we can recreate this. So what? That's nothing to do with why the man was killed. The orders were given up from higher ups. The Kenyan police had live bullets.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All had live bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Good, Jeremy.
Just to fast forward it, none of these police officers, of course, were arrested. The government of Kenya refused to participate in this documentary. I'm just going to read the few last one. Then we see the reactions from Kenyans, because Kenyans are really mad. They're saying, of course, like you're saying, this is all propaganda. You're not giving us true information, every detail of how many citizens died. This is something actually, most of the parents were demanding. They abducted children. The names were outside, but no information was ever released. The president spoke about it, but most of these people were found dead. Is anyone going to be held accountable for it? Hell no. So
Joe, but it's propaganda.
They're saying that the police told them that the National Police Service cannot investigate itself. It can only offer support or evidence as demanded by the Independent Police Oversight Authority.
Of course, it can't investigate itself. Then it's supposed to have an outside investigation, outside investigating body do it. That's why you set up institute. You're always supposed to have an outside investigating body to investigate the police. So you mean Timmy Kenya doesn't have that? He's supposed to be. You have a democracy. You know there's going to be crimes committed by police. You're supposed to have an outside investigating body to investigate police when they do crimes. But see, this ain't, because this goes up to the highest level. This ain't the police. Police were given the order by higher individuals in the government.
They also add that the IPOA is an independent constitutional body with a mandate to examine all alleged police misconduct.
Exactly. I thought it had to be somebody. Exactly. It has to be somebody that investigates police corruption and police brutality. Go ahead, Joe.
Where the public and private feel aggrieved as a result of perceived excessness by the police. That is the official opposition. They also add that the other one, the Kenya Defense Force told them that the Kenya Defense Forces was deployed to support the National Police Service because, according to the video, one of the Kenya Defense Forces officer was the one, pulling most of the shots or killed most of the citizens. So they're saying the Kenya Defense Forces was deployed to support the National Police Service in responding to violent protests in various parts of Kenya, resulting in the destruction of breaching of critical infrastructure. Mind you, the Kenya Defense Forces are known to not raise weapons to Kenyans. They're not supposed to. So this is literally, you can see Ruto is the one calling the shots to the point where he deploying the Kenya Defense Forces to the protesters. They're adding that IPOA indicated that the property destroyed included the National Assembly, the Supreme Court building, and the City Hall, among others. The incidents are still under active investigations. And the funds they steal is a lot. They can fix all that. That is not any of our business, being honest. There are a lot of funds you guys steal. You should be able to fix all this. The Kenya Defense BBC, IPOA has so far not forwarded any inquiries, information, or requests to investigate any KDF personnel involved in the operation. KDF remains fully committed to the upholding the rule of law and continues to operate strictly within the mandates granted by the Constitution.
Constitution. I know they're going to say about the Constitution. I know they're going to bring that up. The mandate by the Constitution, what you did is illegal. According to your own Constitution. What you did is illegal, according to your own Constitution, because people have the right to freely protest in Kenya. They're not supposed to be met with live bullets.
That's true. But this is what happened yesterday, where we had 5 people, but there's a video which was saying 7 people, but let me read according to this. 5 people have been shot dead, were shot dead yesterday by police in Angata Mbakoi. That is an area of Kilgoris in Narok County, where Ruto actually comes from, after demonstration by locals against government officials over land turned chaotic. Residents who were protesting the demarcation of 6,000 acres piece of land in the area were met by police who used excessive force to disperse the crowd, leading to the 5 locals being shot, amongst one of them being a teacher.
Why are you killing people? Why are you killing people? Why are you killing people?
Exactly.
Why are you killing people? Why are you killing people? Why? How many people have you killed? Why are you killing people? Who? Nani mkubwa wenu? Nani mkubwa wenu? Wewe. Na kuongelea. Who's your boss? Yani nyinyi wewe ndio mkubwa. Ndugu yangu ni wapi? Mkubwa wenu wako wapi?
You know why they're killing people? Because they can. There's no accountability in Africa. They can. That's why.
Super people are dead. And he's talking to me like, ameua nyani. Watu tano sasa wako chini. As if mumeua nyani.
Yeah, so this is one of the reasons why actually Kenyans are really, really mad. Someone said, let me see the comments a little bit before I get to go to the reaction of Kenyans. Someone says at a BBC video, Piga 1 minute, 1 million views. Like they're relating with the, the BBC video is not even 24 hours, like, on, and still now we've seen cases of now people being killed already. We've been reminded of what happened, and it's happening like the day where this documentary is being released. So people are really mad. Someone else says, let me see, blood-based government is a blood-based government. The solution is always just killing. Someone else says just from watching the BBC documentary today, when do our hearts rest? And then last but not least, someone else says, yet again we have been showing the middle finger. I don't know what that really means, but anyway, Kenyans are really, really mad. So let me view a video here of Dr. Mumbi reacting to it, a few Kenyans reacting to it.
Let me say something real quick, Joe. Let me say something before you do that. Let me say something. Isn't it funny? Yeah. Where was the American military and the American general when they were shooting innocent Kenyans in the streets and, oh, this is criminal. We can't allow this to happen in Kenya because this is a criminal government. Where was this black moron at? Where was he at? Nowhere, because Ruto is backed by white people to steal resources. He's criminal as hell, but you hear nobody on the international stage say nothing. Not the UN, not the Hague, not nobody.
Sure.
Go ahead, Joe.
Let me share this very quickly. What this lady has to say here.
When have you ever seen me pull this card? Never. So this is serious. Let's debunk the BBC documentary. Number one, they did not even speak about the Zimmerman, Rongai, Githurai, Kitengela shootings.
Exactly. In Zimmerman, they mentioned places here in Kajiado, here in our county. So many people were killed because remember here in our country, we had a whole supermarket occupied where some thugs who are paid to come destroy the peaceful demonstration. They entered a whole stole, and then it led literally to even an innocent killing of a child, which of course led to the bigger demonstration.
Yeah, I know you cried during that documentary, but remember, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Sad that it had to be done by an international media house while we have several in the country. When I was studying journalism, we were told that we are the watchdogs. For who? The government. But what did we do after the killings? Oh, nothing.
Exactly. But understanding our media was shut, of course, and almost trying to actually even live stream any of these occasions. They were being threatened about their license being taken down. And we've seen recently, actually, one of the biggest medias is being shut down, and they've been told their license is going to be taken away from them because of the headlines they have been headlining about the president. Of course, calling him a flying president, the lying president, the abducting president, all those kind of headlines.
So, the democracy, that's what you're supposed to be able to do. As a reporter,
exactly.
you are what you're called the fourth estate.
Exactly.
The journalism is supposed to be the fourth estate. You're supposed to give truth to power. If you live in a democracy, you're not supposed to be you're supposed to freedom of speech to tell the truth about corrupt leaders. That's your responsibility as a journalist.
Exactly.
You are the fourth estate.
I am part of the problem because how did we move on so fast from killings that much? Also,
exactly. Those many killings. Because this is crazy. These many killings and abductions that people know about, and nothing was done. This is beyond Banana Republic. This is a dictatorship that's out of control. And the world says nothing. You know why? Because Kenya is a captured country for white people. That's why. It's okay to kill black people. Black people don't get any justice and get abducted and killed and thrown in rivers and ravines and lakes. That's okay. Because that money keeps going up to Europeans. My money don't get messed up. I don't care how many Negroes you killed and throw in the damn river or throw in the forest. So what? And that's why nothing was been done. Nothing. That's why they moved on. It's crazy.
And you're sending them to kneel down and aim at kids. And finally, watch and you'll get. Maybe we should take that documentary, dub it in Swahili. When have you ever seen me pull this card? Never. So this is serious. Let's debunk the language that every Kenyan might understand. Add the clips from Githurai, Zimmerman, Kitengela, Rongai shootings. Add the clips of bodies being extracted from that swamp. And also add the fact that a lot of bodies had been collected to a point City Mortuary were accepting no more. And they air it every day at 9 p.m. in these local channels. They might not, because probably they depend on this government to pay them. But I'm just saying, language that every
all media is paid by the government in Africa, guys. So there's no independent media in Africa. Because if they're independent and they tell the truth, they're done. Because all African countries are autocratic and corrupt, all of them. Because they were set up by Europeans. And shout out to you, gentlemen. He wasn't invited. He was summoned. These Negroes were summoned to the Pope's funeral. They're not invited. They're summoned. You get your ass up here, and you better get here, and you better show respect. They're not invited. They're summoned. Go ahead, Joe.
Before we get Kura 2027, Rudy watch your documentary.
Exactly. This is the time I feel like we should be reminded again as we go vote, understand, we don't control this election. And then I'm going to share what Dr. Mombi is going to say, which I feel like what it makes sense from this point, because the people who are now vying for the presidential seats are even worse. Okay, I'm not saying worse than Ruto, but they
even worse. Probably so. Exactly. Imagine this guy's going to run for president, unalive people, kidnapping people. That's how you know. And then no one says nothing. Suppose that now everybody's saying everything about Ibram Traore. Hasn't kidnapped nobody, building good roads, building good schools, bring back African pride. I want you to see the juxtaposition, how the Europeans really feel. See, Ibram is a threat to their power. Ruto upholds their power.
What did you get to change with your documentary?
Yeah, he's saying we shouldn't be people who forget so quick about things that are affecting us, because according to him and also the other lady, they're saying, how did we become so quick to forget, about all these killings? We're seeing the abductions are still happening every day, and that you're going to see these morons, like we call them, appearing to your state or county, telling you about 2027 election, how you should vote for them. No.
I should vote for you, but you haven't. Okay. But you haven't righted the injustice of people being unalived and people being abducted. Do that first. Yeah, make it make sense.
I'm watching this BBC documentary right now, and what's even gonna happen? Like realistically, what is even gonna happen? Because everyone's mad. I'm mad. You're mad. We're mad. Yo, talk here.
Yani wasi walikuwa wanafuatwa from na nyuma, like police na KDF walikuwa wanatufuata huko nyuma, aiming the guns.
Yani BBC wameamua asugue kidonda na brush banze.
You got to translate for us, Joby. We don't know what they're saying.
We are on our own. KDF tunawalipa mishahara, tunawanunulia hizo uniform navaa.
Yeah, so most of the citizens are just shocked that the KDF, the people are supposed to be defending us, they're known for not aiming weapons at citizens but protecting them, that they were paid, to be part of these killings. Because, like I said, one of them is the most spotted, and all he was doing is literally the one pulling the headshots. Most of the people reported they were shot on the head. It was because of him. So this is just so sad, but at the same time, I love the fact that actually Kenyans are really on the watch of everything that is happening in our country. You can see the reaction, the anger, this is not, you could see.
The docility is gone.
People questioning the media, because why is it that our Western media is the one covering this? Why don't our Kenyan medias work? So this is, I think, where people are gonna still be led to discover that a majority of the things we think literally operate in our country.
They don't. They're not sure. Exactly.
We don't
Exactly. Don't. Exactly.
Follow the rules. But here's Dr. Mumbi with a reaction about the same situation.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So, Blood Parliament, the BBC documentary that tries to tell our story of what happened last year on June 25th in Parliament, when Parliament was breached here in Kenya, is trending Parle X. A lot of people are talking about it. But whenever you see these things, family, you have to ask yourself, why now? And why is the colonizer trying to tell our story and hijack our narrative?
Exactly. I told you, pause it. I told you, exactly. I told you, pause. I said this is the hijacking of the narrative. That's what I said when Joey Percent said this is the hijacking of a narrative. Trying to put a spin on that they want you to think this is the high, because they not telling you, okay, we got to find this shooter. We're going to find and locate the shooter. But that don't make any sense, because they all got live bullets. They all were giving orders. So who gave the orders? I don't care about the police on the street. Who gave the orders to shoot innocent men, women, and children down like dogs? Not some, we found the shooter. He's not responsible. So this is the fake, exactly. This is changing the narrative. This is called propaganda. It's called mind control, guys. Go ahead, Joe.
Activists. They're toxic activists. They're paid activists. Why? It's because
they're paid activists.
It looks like the puppet master is done with the puppet. They're done with Nabi. Even if you look at how he was not even invited to the Pope's funeral.
You guys saw the videos of him being at the Pope's funeral. Man, even Kenyans noticed, and Kenyans are making fun of those videos now. Number one, they have noticed the disrespect of these African leaders out there, always disrespected when they go out. So that has been
hold on. So they were getting disrespected again. I always get disrespected. I didn't see it. So they were getting disrespected at the Pope's funeral, Joe.
I'm going to share a video of one of the
Please do.
Been reacting of number one,
Please
the plane
do.
they had. They're saying they were given a shitty plane, which even has they were mocking the plane. Kenyans are mocking the plane, saying that African leaders are put on a plane that has beeping sounds. You know, it's like a car.
because Joe, no one respects these African puppets.
Ruto was spotted. A video of him has been going viral during the weekend as well, where he was spotted with several of the officials coming from Kenya, just wondering. They look like they have no idea what they're supposed to do.
What we doing while they're there?
Program, the timing of it's like they have no timing of the program. They're just there, just standing, looking like crazy people. So Kenyans are watching. It's amazing.
Looking like crazy people.
The major presidents that was there, he was just floating around, looking lost.
Exactly.
And another thing is the British Ninis. They know that some kind of revolution and transformation and transition is happening in Kenya, and they want to hijack the process.
They want to stop it. Exactly. They got to hijack the process. They got to take the energy and then fool the people on some fake revolution where they control it, and then nothing ever changes. You just feel good to we get a revolution, we change some shit, and don't nothing change. Exactly, because they know. I told you, I said last year, you think the Europeans are looking at Kenyan and said, oh, shite. We got to put the genie back in the bottle somewhere around here. This is dangerous. Go ahead, Joe.
Tatas of this world trying to say, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. And now coming out and doing this documentary where they try and tell our story and look what happened, is their attempt to try and not only hijack the narrative, but lie to us and Gen Z and Kenyans in general that they stand with us in our fight for justice.
It's a lie.
Don't fall for the BS.
Exactly. They don't stand for us. But we have one of Ruto's, of course, allies who's defending him.
Some of these things become very emotive to some of us is because these killings did not just happen inside Parliament. The very first person that was killed out there, 29-year-old Erickson Mutisia, is from Kadhiani constituency, a place called Kisakini. So he was killed in the tarmac outside Parliament. And that was before they breached the fence. In fact, I want to imagine that that's probably one of the reasons why the youth were even more enraged, because they were unarmed. And when one of their own is killed, in cold blood outside, that obviously must have annoyed them. But some I want to I just mentioned how Parliament is
how
structured in life.
despicable this Negro is. That must have disturbed them.
He's
How
lying.
despicable this Negro is. Yeah, go ahead.
He's even lying. This guy was not even killed before he entered the parliament. He was killed when they were coming out of the parliament. He managed to get to the parliament. When he was coming back, he was the last person because he was stampeded at a point. So when he managed to now stand up, he was given a headshot. So he's even lying. The document, he's not even, oh my God. The truth is even in our eyes, but you're still lying.
I felt that maybe I need to elaborate. That what happened is the military were deployed to the streets. Military ordinarily cannot be deployed to the streets within the country without the consent of Parliament. Now, and I want you to go back to the records of Hansard, because this happened on June 25th. That's when the military was in the streets. You check the Hansard records for the next day, because we're in Parliament the next day in the morning. We attempted that time as a minority party to ask questions about how it was possible for the military to have been deployed to the streets of Nairobi.
Oh, please. Oh, bullshit. Oh, you know how. You know the person you're defending is the one calling the shots. We received messages when we were in town. This is now declared as a coup. Anyone found on the street, they're going to be gunned down. And we're like, we need to. And then the gunshots started getting crazy. So this is just insane. But Africans are watching. I love the fact you can see even some Black American brothers, probably those who are in Kenya, also reacting. So people are really literally watching, and it's not gonna go far, Ruto. I don't think you have a chance on 2027 election. You're killing innocent people. The documentary released yesterday, and yesterday we have innocent citizens killed because of a land you're trying to snatch away. My own land.
He's still trying to steal land.
Yeah, that's why we had those people who were killed yesterday, the demonstration, the 5 people.
How much land does this dude need? Jesus Christ.
Still in 6,000 acres of land. Like, how do you just come steal a whole generation to generation of land? You want just to forcefully take it and now it's yours? No. Hell no. This is not Moi's time.
This dude's a real despot.
This is not Jomo Kenyatta's time either. You know, people are so woke. But I see John Mosquito in the building, Karibu Sana. I see he's asking who invited Ruto and the crew, Pope's funeral. Well,
yeah. I want to see what Joby's talking about.
Let me find the video very quickly. Share it.
What's going on, George?
They were looking just crazy. It's like they have no idea, no program.
It was supposed to be that they just showed up to they say, look at we supporting the Pope. This is for Kenyan consumption. Look at I'm so holy, I'm with the Pope. Ruto, is Ruto even Catholic? Are you Catholic, dude? Damn, mosquito up in here. Shit. I don't think I got his ass.
Oh, they didn't take it down because these blogs also, they're always threatened. Just small things, they take the videos down. It was taken down. Just a minute.
Might be gone.
Nope, can't see it.
It's gone. There you go.
Let me find it on TikTok. Let me see if I can find it on TikTok. TikTok, I won't like it. Oh, it is. Okay. Confused at the Vatican. They say he's a confused man. Confused. It is. Here he is with his friends.
Then what the hell are you Negroes doing? Are you guys even Catholic? This would be so funny how Africans are treated so effed up, so disrespected. Because see this the mindset. Yeah, they're confused. This the mindset they've grown up with inferiority complex. They have internalized racism. The disrespect be so palpable. Like, do you have any self-respect? Do you have any self-respect at all? Crazy. The bum aircraft they got.
Our day have horned.
And I understand this is why you're disrespected globally.
Sasa nchi zingine zibarikiwe. Iko na honi lakini sasa.
Yeah, so this is his name is Alvan. He's mocking the airplane carrying African leaders home after Pope Francis' funeral. It was beeping like a car, so that's why people have been laughing. They're like, "What type of plane you guys boarding? Like, you know, you can be put in a classic, on a classic plane."
You teach people how to treat you. The Africans have taught people to disrespect them, and it's okay. Leaders have taught other people to disrespect them. It's okay. And since they despise African people, they treat you like SHIT. That's what you get. And while you put on the bus, other leaders getting in their Cadillacs, their nice long limousines, you get on a bus. Ain't you a leader of a country?
It's insane. It is insane. But still, shout out to BBC for the minimal, details they could give us. At least we have an idea of some of the things that took event. The people who are also on part of the protest.
I think you knew what would happen, Joe. You were there, so I don't think you need the BBC to give you fake narratives. I think you were there in the streets, Joby. I think this whole BBC documentary is garbage. It's to control the narrative. It's to make up a false narrative. I'm looking at it. This thing ain't asking a real question.
We see the reaction of Kenyans from henceforth because there is the online rage already. There is a rage on the ground. People, of course, demonstrating in different counties. There's been demonstration about things not working correctly. So it's as much as we don't report about it, there's demonstration actually happening in every county in different ways because of different things not working. But
there you go. You're the point. The Africans no longer quiet. See, this hurts you Europeans. The Africans usually be quiet and docile and go, well, Jesus wants me to, like Joby said, Jesus must want this family live in bags and sacks. Well, what can I do?
Much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who shall be catching this on a replay,
What kind of sin did these people do? They were black. That's the sin. They're black.
Leave your comments behind and also ensure you do subscribe and like this amazing content. Much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Come back
Much love, guys.
I'll come back on TikTok and of course catch up with Shumani and Wharton.
You come back on TikTok, guys. Yeah. They're gonna do the countdown.
It's from the soul ndo nimetoa kasavara mudigi. Mkisikia msea na kwara ni vidin. Niko kwa teli kao kwara inabidi ni wachanganishe na izima thoughts zangu za within. Capital City washanisikia so inafaa mashinani huko ndani pia kazi fike mitazi tahadithia mweke shot tukikani kumalizia vile